Welcome to Horrors Yet Unseen, the podcast where we assign each other horror movies to watch and then talk about it so our spouses don't have to listen to us go on and on and on about scary stuff they don't like. I'm Zach.
And I'm Steve. Let's talk about some scary movies. By the way, there will absolutely be spoilers in this show. You have been warned.
Kind of stuff we got to talk about here. Let me look at that. Let me pull.
Oh, I haven't even looked at the notes, dude.
Let's look at the notes.
It's been a weird week.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, getting back from like a vacation.
Yeah.
And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there was a UX strategy conference that I went to in Boulder.
Cool.
So I had to drive down and drive back every day. And I decided that I'm not ever going to get a job in Boulder if I live up here.
Yeah.
Because that's just that's an hour of sitting in traffic that I don't want to do.
Is it a straight shot, like you're constantly driving for an hour, or is it just an hour to get there, but it's really like a 30-minute drive?
It like if there's zero traffic, it's like 45.
Got it. Okay.
But you never know if it's going to be an hour and a half.
Because
a lot of people go to Boulder. Lots of stuff in Boulder. Lots of stuff based in Boulder. I mean, they have Google there as well, and they have like Nest is based there, and like lots of tech startups. And of course, there's University of Colorado, CU Boulder. Go Buffs or whatever they are. And
is that where Deion Sanders?
Yeah,
bro, is Deion Sanders? I forgot that Deion Sanders is in your state. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
primetime, man. He can't.
I assume by his
create
house
a good football team to save his dang life, but at the end of the day, he did well for the Cowboys. But also, I watched his team last week, and they sucked.
Did they?
Oh my god,
Dude,
their quarterback kept. It was like the offensive line. It was offensive, is what it was. It was not an offense. It was offensive because it was like, hey, here's a hole. Here's our quarterback. Go ahead and sack him. And I'm like, what's happening? Anyway, that's enough sports talk. Go ahead.
Did you ever watch Mork and Mindy?
Dude, I loved Mork and Mindy. Yeah.
Okay. The outside of the house? I drive by that house every time I go to Boulder.
You drive by the Mork and Mindy house?
Yeah. I kept driving by the house. I'm like, oh, that looks familiar. And then on the way one day, I was looking at the map and it said Mork and Mindy house. I'm like
wait, so the external shots of the house
are actually in Boulder.
Were shot there, but obviously it's a studio set. Wow, the Mork and Mindy house.
And the whole intro actually is Boulder, like on there on the football field and stuff.
Oh, I was a kid like when we were watching that show, like 5, 6, 7, 8.
Same, yeah.
It was a good show, nanu. So
no.
Yeah.
It's good. It's on a video podcast.
And cut that out. Take 2. Here we go.
They do.
Oh man, you drove past the Mork and Mindy house.
Yeah. It's just a beautiful place. Boulder's a really nice place.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Cool, but
it's pricey as heck. I mean,
well,
technically, depending on your theology, heck is it's free or hell or whatever. But it's a pricey place. It's one of the more pricier places in Colorado. What if you don't get into like a Vail and Aspen and Telluride? Those places
are those old Jeep trucks.
Yeah.
Or Kia cars.
Yeah, they're Kia cars.
The names of Kia cars.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You just said Telluride, and that's just maybe.
Telluride's an awesome place. It's so stinking gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And
is this a commercial for? Is this the segment of the podcast that's brought to you by visit Colorado.com or
Oh, we don't want
.gov.
you to visit. We have enough people
Oh,
visiting.
okay.
But so I'm going to tell you how
Got it.
wonderful it is, so you don't visit.
Okay. Well, I mean, last week it was all about Georgia, or it was all about Colorado peaches.
Which we don't want you to buy because they're ours.
Okay. And then
We
this
run out of
week
them.
is, that's so selfish. And then this
Yeah.
week is all about just how everything's gorgeous out here in Colorado. So I'm just asking the question.
Well, but Aspen and Vail are too expensive, so you don't want to go there. You maybe you go skiing there, but like a loft apartment, like a studio apartment in Vail is going to be like $1 million. It's ridiculous.
Wait, what?
It's ridiculous. Yes, it's ridiculous.
A studio apartment in Vail is $1 million for rent?
To buy.
Oh, to buy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much the rent is. I mean, like Madonna and Oprah and all these people have the houses up there, and Aspen's the same way. And Telluride has it's a there's only one road into Telluride and one road out, and it's like a pocket canyon, and like a dead end thing, and it's the most gorgeous view ever. I went to the Telluride Bluegrass Festival quite a few years ago. Saw the Decemberists and Bella Fleck and the Flecktones, and
that's cool.
And then but anyway, like there's a private airport in Telluride, but it's full of like celebrities' personal jets. That's all it is.
We just
apparently, I would like to go to the Telluride Film Festival. Apparently, it's pretty awesome.
Cool.
We need to get to a film festival, man.
We should actually, yeah. I mean, it will be difficult for the two of us to get to the same one, but we should.
Sure.
We could go live from each other's film festivals. Film festivals and Comic-Cons, I feel like we need to hit those up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I left I completely off subject. Back to what I was saying about going to that coffee shop. I left a little ducky there.
Oh.
I have these I have these, not the yellow ones.
Yeah.
But I have these 3D printed little duckies that are multicolored and whatnot that I bought off of TikTok. And I think I went over to, I think we were going over to Casey's brother's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a pink flamingo, which I have a bag right here. The bag of pink flamingos.
Oh, nice.
Right here. Same size as the duckies.
Yeah.
And then I also have a bag of those duckies. I put one of each in my pocket. Forgot that they were in there. Because I was like, I'm going to leave them at their house. No, completely forgot. And then we went to my mom's house. I did the same thing. Completely forgot that they were there.
Mm-hmm.
But today, I had my backpack on me. My backpack of shenanigans. And I left one at the table. So, anyway.
Do we have any other topics to talk about?
I mean, I wrote down 2.
Oh, okay.
So we're getting the it says Tubby Time is back and Zach is having PTSD. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're getting.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I've already talked to my therapist about it. Everything's fine, but what's it called? The creep tapes or the creep? I didn't even write it down.
Yeah,
I just wrote down Tubby Time. Is that what it's called? The creep tapes?
I think so.
It's going to be on Shudder, which is nice.
Oh, it is. I hadn't looked into it.
Yeah, it's going to be on Shudder. I'm very excited about that, and it's coming out soon, which is great. But they specifically called out Tubby Time, and I don't like that.
I was kind of surprised they actually said that in the Instagram post or whatever it was. They're
like time. Joseph and Tubby Time are back, and I'm like, well, that's not helpful for anybody. I mean, Joseph being back, I'm fine with Joe. Is it weird that I'm fine with the serial killer being back, but I'm not fine with Tubby Time being back? Am I
serial
broken?
Killer doing Tubby Time?
No, it's anyone doing Tubby Time. I don't care who is doing the Tubby Time. I don't have time for Tubby Time. And I think I want to hear from people. I'm going to call this out. If you also are not a fan of Tubby Time, please let me know. I need a support system. We need to band together.
There's clearly people that say, and I have to apologize for thinking that was only you that was like weirded out by Tubby Time. But it's not.
It was so shocking. It's such a shocking moment in Creep. And it's right at the beginning. So it's like it's unavoidable. And
it's like jumping in with both feet, man.
You have to see it. Like, it's not like, well, I'll just skip through it. No, it's not necessarily pivotal. That you could technically skip it and still get the gist of the movie Creep. But
it doesn't.
It's a part of the whole movie is you have to get the full picture.
Right.
You have to go through the trauma of Tubby Time and the shock of Tubby Time in order to fully understand who Joseph is in this movie.
It really gives you an idea of like how just cracked this man is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's wild.
Just cracked.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I think it's coming out like sometime Halloween-ish.
That's cool.
October, November, something like that.
That's awesome.
Cool.
What's the Slasher September announcement?
I have a confession. I don't think that I know how to pick good movies, Steve.
I could have told you that, buddy. I think I told you that.
You do on a regular basis. Tell me that I'm terrible at doing this.
But I admire your moxie and I admire your adventurous spirit.
You shouldn't, because okay. So I watched what is this movie? The Town That Dreaded Sundown, 1976.
Is that about a sundowner town?
It's not great.
It's not racist. It's a racist thing.
Well, I don't know that it's racist. I mean,
well, are you familiar with sundown towns?
No.
Okay, serious thing. Lots of places in America.
Lots of places in America?
Yes. Yes. Used to. Some still do, unfortunately. Like especially around up through the Jim Crow times, through the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
They would a sundown town was black people are not allowed in the town after sundown. If you're in that town, if you're in the borders of that town, it's not a good idea for you if you're a black person.
What is happening?
Yeah,
I learned. So that's not just real then. Is it real now?
There are some towns who are kind of like sort of that way in like the deep south. Yeah.
Why?
Like there used to be signs like said that this town is a sundown town.
That just makes me want to cry, dude.
I learned about it in the horror TV show. Oh, what shoot was it? Lovecraft Country on HBO. Have you seen that?
I've seen it, but I don't remember them talking about that.
It was kind of tossed in there, but because like at one point they're like speeding out of one of the towns to try to get out there before sundown. Yeah. Anyway,
dude, what the heck are we?
Sorry to make it all serious.
No, it's fine. It's just freaking why? We don't need to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, back to this. The Town That Dreaded Sundown. It's not about racism. Okay. It's about a killer, and it's not necessarily great. It's probably great in 1976 when it came out. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily great now. I didn't have a great time watching it. I watched The Burning. That movie is terrible. Oh my gosh.
Burning?
The Burning.
I don't know if I've heard of it.
Well, that's the movie. We talked about this last week because this is the movie. Jason Alexander's in it.
Right.
And the first killing doesn't happen until like an hour into the movie.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I watched Sleepaway Camp. That's a trash movie.
You made it through?
Trash. Like,
you got
not
like 10
worth.
Minutes, last week you got like 10 minutes into it.
It is not worth a single percentage of a star. It's not worth anything. And it's not like I can't believe this movie was made. Again, probably in 1983, it might have been fine. But if you're still around today and still going, dude, this is a hill for me to die on. This is the best movie. Get the heck out of here. Unsubscribe from our podcast. Go away. As much as Steve
Yeah.
hates Georgia and doesn't want the residents of Georgia to listen to this podcast, I don't want people get out of here. I'm slightly teasing because again, don't unsubscribe from our podcast. But if you do, I won't know that you did because again, the analytics for this podcast are unknowable. I watched the movie Maniac from 1980.
Oh, you did?
Unwatchable.
Yeah.
I did not.
It's on my list.
I did not get to. So this, I think this week was like Sleepaway Camp, Maniac, Dress to Kill, and the movie Pieces. I did not get to Dress to Kill because I literally could not. I stopped at Maniac and just went, I have to reimagine what these movies are. I can't. I have to figure out better slasher movies. Because
I would have thought. So I would have thought that Maniac would be good.
No,
because I've seen the remake with Frodo Baggins in it, and
there's a remake of this movie.
Yeah, with not Daniel.
2012. Okay.
Yeah.
Elijah. And you give it 4 stars,
dude. It's freaking good, but so unnerving and so bothering. Oh,
is it a remake? Or is it just a similarly titled movie?
I think it's a remake. But I don't know. I'm not sure it actually has a whole lot of legitimate connection to us because I haven't seen the first one. So
okay, so let's open up Maniac from 1980 on Ibby. Let's go down here. Did I already go past it? I already went past it. It is remade. It's a remake.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I might watch that then. Anyway, I need to.
It's on my list to give you at some point.
I need to go. So, I probably at least want to give these movies a try. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I feel completely defeated. Is really where I am.
I'm so sorry.
I'm at right now. I don't feel like I did a very good job. These are bad movies. I have high hopes for Silent Night, Deadly Night, and by high I mean not that high. The original My Bloody Valentine, I kind of have decent hopes for that. I have decent hopes for The Prowler. Dark Knight of the Scarecrow seems pretty okay. I don't know. I'm at least going to reimagine what Slasher September looks like, and I need to pick better movies. So I'm going to reach out to our people, and if you have a slasher movie that's worth seeing, please message us.
Can I give you one?
Of course you can. I'm all for it. Right. I want to watch slashers in Slasher September.
Okay, this is not an assignment, but a Happy Birthday to Me.
Happy Birthday to Me.
1981. Like,
is that the one where like the skewer is going through the guy's mouth on the poster?
Yeah.
I think I don't think I've seen it. I think it's on one of my like slasher.
It's on your want to watch.
Yeah. Happy Birthday to Me.
Yeah. I gave it 4 stars.
Here's the problem.
Which is saying something for me because I don't tend to like 80s slasher movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that.
I have 100. You've been very vocal about it. And the problem is that if the movie poster is even remotely good, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time for these older movies, that's exactly how I'm determining whether or not I want to watch it. And what I'm finding is over the last 2 years, that is not a good litmus test for whether or not these movies are going to be good.
It's really not.
It's just not. So I need a better gauge. And so I think I just, I got to go in and figure it out. Yeah. So those movies have not necessarily been great. So I need to figure out what I'm going to watch this week, but hopefully my Halloween list is going to be better. Hopefully my Halloween list.
Do you ever look at the reviews?
Nope.
No, you don't look at the Okay, that's what I do. I mean, I don't read the reviews, but I'm like kind of like wet finger in the air based upon like if it's on Letterboxd and it's a 3 or above, it's probably a pretty good film. But if it's like a 1.9, I'm like,
Yeah.
pretty, yeah.
Yeah, and let me see what these movies are. Let's go back. Okay. The Town That Dreaded Sundown is a 2.9.
Oh, but it
The
wasn't.
Burning is a 3.1.
What? And it was that bad, really? Well,
Well, I gave it 2 stars and I should not have done that. It's a terrible movie. Sleepaway Camp. I gave it 1.5 stars, but that's too generous. 3.2 stars.
See what we're getting into the nostalgia thing again, because
Yeah.
like Letterboxd and all these places didn't exist until recently, and everybody like looks back and thinks, "Boy, that was a really fun movie. I'm gonna, give it great stars."
Yeah.
Or whatever.
The Maniac, 3.4.
Really?
It only has 190 half-star reviews, 531 star reviews. The majority of the reviews are actually 4-star reviews at 8,100. Yeah, I mean, all of the movies that I would watch are basically 3 stars and above, but they're all
Wow.
they are all older movies.
Well, I would recommend going on Letterboxd. I just now searched Slasher September in the search box, and there's a bunch of people who have their own lists for Slasher September. Of like this one gal has like every year she did one from like 2018 on.
Yeah, yeah. I did look up
To get ideas.
Just typed in slasher and hit list, and I went. That's how I gathered a lot of these movies up.
Right.
But and you don't know what you don't know. So I went in thinking
Right.
that these movies would be fine, and it turns out they are not necessarily. And it's not the story. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's. I don't know that it's the time that these movies. I don't know what it is. There is maybe I guess some X factor about them that is just. It's just bad, and it could be the fact that I'm used to modern movies,
Yeah.
and modern plots.
But you tend to
So
like
to
the
go
80s
back in
movies.
time and watch movies from a different era,
But you tend to like the 80s stuff.
I do tend to like the 80s stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it could have been just bad luck,
It could have just been bad luck. Anyway, that's really all I got. I'm sure that there's probably more news that we missed. We're getting an article on Popcorn Bucket. How about that? We didn't talk about that, I don't think.
What?
We're getting
Really?
an article on Popcorn Bucket. I will not be buying one because I think popcorn buckets are elusive. I don't think you can get one. I think they're fake news. That's all I'm
think
saying.
they're fake.
They're all fake. You can only get them on eBay for $89 or the price of a child, maybe. I don't really know. You got to sell your firstborn, cut off your arm. I don't know. It's a lot. There are a lot of money for these pieces of plastic that are whatever.
I did go to the theater a while back, and they had a few leftover popcorn buckets from, I believe it was
Alien Romulus.
no, those disappeared fast. I think for some reason they had popcorn buckets from Beetlejuice, but they looked kind of lame. I don't know.
No, are they decorated popcorn buckets, or are they just like a bucket that's wrapped in?
They had those, but they had a couple like that look like heads. I don't know.
I still need to see. There's so many movies that I need to watch. I didn't go see Alien Romulus, and the reason is because I still haven't seen the Alien franchise. I'm waiting till October.
Well, you've seen the new
on
ones,
my
right?
list. Huh?
You've seen the other two new ones, right?
I've just not seen Alien like Alien and Aliens, or Alien
Okay.
1 and Alien 2. I've not seen those.
Yeah, that's probably all
They're
you need
on
to
my
see.
list for October, so I'll watch Alien Romulus later. I did want to see Beetlejuice, but I didn't get a chance to do that. I haven't been to the theater in a while. I have like 2
Yeah,
Cinemark
same.
credits.
Yeah.
Um. So, but yeah, we're getting an Art to Clown popcorn bucket, which is cool, I guess. Um.
Well, you're not gonna let that in your house, are you?
I'm never gonna let it in my house.
Right.
Art the Clown has no space, and like he's lucky he's even getting talked about in this podcast.
Right.
I very, very much want to know, though. I'm gonna just for curiosity's sake, I
Yeah.
do want to know what the scene was that made David almost throw up.
Oh, the when he was acting it.
I want to know. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I want to know.
Yeah. I mean, because the
In
guy's
every poster, he's
through a
wearing
lot.
Santa's face around his
Mhm.
neck, and so
Oh yeah.
I have like in the most recent poster, he's like got a chainsaw through the back of Santa coming out the front, and Santa's face is ripped off and it's hanging around his neck. It's very violent when you describe it. But I wonder
Mhm.
in every trailer, he's wearing Santa's beard. Like he's wearing this bloody beard. So at
Is it like
some
he tore
point
off
in the
Santa?
movie, at some point in the movie, he's got to have an interaction with Santa.
Yeah.
Damien said that the grossest parts of the Terrifier did not make it into the teaser and the trailer. So for all of the grossness of those scenes,
Mm-hmm.
the grossest parts of the goriest parts of the movie are not even close to being in the trailer. Like there's that shower scene where he goes and kind of cuts at those people. You would think, oh, that's going to be the goriest thing. According to Damien,
Hmm.
that's not the goriest thing. And I'm like, well, then what the heck is?
Hmm.
I don't know. I will. That is definitely going to have to be a movie I'm going to have to fast forward through.
Yeah.
But it's just because I'm curious. It's not because I genuinely enjoy it. It's because my curiosity is a freaking little turd sometimes and won't. It's unrelenting.
I mean, curiosity is a fantastic thing, but I hate how curious I am sometimes.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of movies that I've been wanting to see that I haven't been able to see yet. Like, The Front Room has just come out. I want to see that.
Yes, I want to see The Front Room.
I want to see. I'd like to kind of go see Coraline 15th anniversary. That's
I've never seen Coraline,
dude. I love it. I love that movie.
and I
so
want to. I should watch Coraline. I do want to watch the original Speak No Evil, and then the remake of it.
Yeah,
and
same.
I also slightly want to die. I did watch the trailer for the original and went, why are we remaking this movie this soon?
I don't know.
I kind of jumped on that band because it's basically a shot for shot remake.
Is it?
It seems that way. I don't know that, but the trailers are basically mirrored images of themselves.
Wow.
Like literally, go watch a trailer for the new one.
I've seen the old one, or the first one, I should say, not the old one, but I've seen the first one.
They're
It's
basically
disturbing
the
as all
exact
get
same.
out.
Yeah. Blink Twice is another one that I
Mhm.
thought would be interesting, at least.
And yeah,
I've heard people talking about this movie called The Deliverance with Glenn Close.
I wanted to see Never Let Go.
Never Let Go.
Yet.
What is that?
It's about when an unspeakable evil takes over the world. These kids and the mom, it's like a post-apocalyptic thing, and they have to be tied to a rope to their house.
Is that Halle Berry?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And The Substance is coming out soon, and I saw a review. It's about this. It's kind of riffing on, I think, Ozempic type of stuff. Like magic drug that's going to make you prettier or whatever. But apparently, I saw a Spooky Astronauts did a review on YouTube about it, like a spoiler-free review.
Cool.
And she said, she's like, I did not know where this movie was going, and it went some disturbing places, and there's some visuals that I can't get out of my head. She's like, I've never seen a movie like this. And
Fantastic.
she's been doing reviews for 10 years, and she said it was one of the most bothersome movies she's ever seen.
Well, that's good.
So I got to see it,
Yeah, of course.
And last night, Christy and I, don't want to jump into I haven't watched it. We started watching Parallel, which is kind of a thriller horror sort of deal.
Okay.
Where a woman and her husband, they lost their child a year ago, and they got to the forest, and it's apparently she accidentally walks through this door to a multiverses, and they can't get back to her original house, and chaos ensues. Is pretty good. Anyway, I haven't been to the movies in a while either. But
yeah.
Did you get to watch anything else this week?
I did. I still haven't seen Hellhole. It's still on my list.
That's fine.
And I still didn't watch Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched.
Mm-hmm.
Still didn't see The Devil's Bath. I did watch Sleepaway Camp. Again, terrible. I started to watch Onyx the Fortuitous.
Onyx the Fortuitous.
And The Talisman of Souls.
Huh.
Have you never seen this movie?
Never heard of it.
It's called Onyx the Fortuitous and The Talisman of Souls. Yeah, and let me tell you, if there is ever a weirder movie out there, I'd like to know what that weirder movie is. You should watch this movie. Letterboxd says that it's not on your list and you've never seen it.
Just sits on my list now.
Yes.
Just the poster. Holy cow, what in the world?
I know, it's wild.
Wow. Oh, there's puppets in it. I gotta see it.
I don't know how far in I am. I know where I am in the movie, but I don't want to say where I am in the movie because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah. Then I watched Star Wars: A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back because James Earl Jones died.
Right.
93.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. dude. And I mean, it was either watch Star Wars or watch The Lion King, as far as I was concerned, and I chose Star Wars. But I hadn't seen the OG Star Wars in a while. I am very disappointed at how big Disney Plus is and how big Star Wars is within the Disney universe, and the versions of that original trilogy that they don't have like they have several versions of this movie.
Oh, they do.
Because over time, since the theatrical release, they have adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
They've added scenes, or they've added CGI, or they've corrected things, or whatever, in order to make, like, as other things become canon,
mm-hmm.
they adjust the original movies. Side note, dear George Lucas, stop it. Stop it.
He sold it, so
it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
I don't think he can do it anymore. Yeah.
Dear Bob Iger, stop it. Dear totally Mickey Mouse,
well,
knock
I
it off.
You this, but I don't know if you saw it. Did you see my link to my mention of the despecialized editions?
No.
I sent you a link and everything.
You did. I completely missed it.
Yeah,
I think we got to talk about other things.
There's a dude who's like, his username is Harmy or something. He's from the Czech Republic. He's quite a few years ago. He started cobbling together, like, if he could get a hold of anybody's VHS, like from the first one that released, and tried to source from all over the place. And he's put together this despecialized edition, which is as close to the theatrical release as possible. And you like, if you go to YouTube and search for Star Wars despecialized, they have lots of side by sides showing like the crap and the stupid CGI things jumping around that George added later.
Yeah.
And next to the original, and the original is so good.
The original is so good
because it holds up.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like,
ironically, the editions don't hold up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I almost threw the remote at the TV. So like in A New Hope, there's that part where Han is like, they introduce Han, right?
Yep.
And Han is going to go to, first off, back up, time out. Hold on. I got to have a conversation about this. Okay.
I could talk about Star Wars all day.
Dude. Okay. So they call him Han in the original. Oh. Everyone that I've ever met says Han. Everyone says Han. And everyone that also, these people who call him Han are also like Star Wars fanatics. I'm like, if you're going to be a Star Wars fanatic, then that means that the lore or how they say stuff in the originals is the litmus test for moving forward. That's how you would say it.
Okay.
So, but no one calls him Han Solo. No one that I've ever heard. Maybe I shouldn't say no one, paint with the giant brush. No one that I've ever met says, I've never heard anybody say Han Solo. And I don't think they call her Leia. It's like Leah. Or so, it's like they don't call her
pay attention to that.
Leia in like A New Hope. Anyway. So it was just something small. Anyway, so
but they change it in Strikes Back?
Nope, they don't change it.
Still Han.
Huh. And I didn't get to Return of the Jedi. I need to dive a little bit deeper. But yeah, so like the introduction of Jabba the Hutt in the Disney Plus version, like it's so bad.
So bad.
It's so bad. And yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to me that, and I'm probably jumping on a long list of people who are upset with Lucas for all of this, or just Disney in general for all of this. But you would think for as big as Star Wars is in the Disney Plus universe, or just in the Disney universe, with all of the new things that they're doing and all of the new shows they're doing, the popularity of The Mandalorian, and all of that stuff, that they would allow you to choose which version on the Disney Plus site you want to watch. So if you want to watch the 1997 launch of this, you can. If you want to watch the 30th anniversary edition of it, you can, because all of those came out with DVDs. Like there has been this progression of change that they've made to the original movies, but unless you have those original DVDs or VHSs, you cannot stream them unless you're streaming them illegally. And so I just think that Disney's got to release those. They have to release those on streaming platforms.
I would love them too.
Yeah. I don't know. It just makes sense. But anyway, James died, and I was like, I gotta watch Darth Vader. Come on. And so it was also interesting to me. I've always played up the Luke, I am your father line. I've played that up in my head. That scene where he's just like, I am your father, is not as like powerfully driven, as vocally powerfully driven as I want it, as I've made it up in my head.
Interesting.
He just kind of like, I am your father. Like he just basically low key says it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just said low key. So, It's working itself into my vernacular, dude. And yeah. So anyway, that's it. I just basically watched Sleepaway Camp and Maniac. I didn't put Maniac on this list, and I watched A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, half of Onyx the Fortuitous. I need to finish watching that, and then Vivarium. You know, so yeah. What have you watched? Also, sorry for going on a rant, but also not sorry.
That's why we're here, dude.
That's why we're here. This is it. So
yep.
So what did you watch this week?
I watched
with your busy week and your travels and your whatnot.
Right. I don't think I got to watch as much as I had hoped. It's probably good though.
Like you only watched like 15 movies instead of your usual 23. It's a low week for Steve.
Dude, I have since we talked last.
Did you watch anything?
I watched Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
That was last week. That was the movie last week.
I think I watched anything, dude. I watched the movie. I watched the Dead Heat.
Uh-huh.
And I know. So I've I watched the second season of Channel Zero on Shudder. It's like an anthology TV show. Has the same kind of vibes of American Horror Story TV show.
Okay.
And because every season is a different storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the second one because it specifically was recommended by somebody, I forget who. But it's called The No End House.
Okay.
Other than that, I haven't watched anything.
That's okay.
It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I did watch most of Parallel last night. So it seems like something else, but yeah. Oh, we finished watching the first season of Sunny, which is kind of a thriller sort of horror thingy. That's on Apple TV Plus.
So not It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No, that's not the same thing.
Most people call that show, like, they just call it Sunny.
Oh, do they? I thought it was called Always Sunny, or that show that's really uncomfortable to watch. Or
okay,
it's funny.
It is funny.
I just saw the episode. I'm like making my way through that series slowly because it's got so many seasons.
It does,
and I'm in like season 6 or 7. I just saw the one where Danny DeVito he gets sewn into a couch so he can overhear people at the Christmas party.
It's ridiculous.
And he comes out of the couch after he's being born, and he's all covered in oil and sweat, and he's like completely nude.
Dude, it's so funny. I love it. It is slightly uncomfortable, but it's also very funny.
Well, it's a very funny show. I watched the first few episodes back in before deconstruction of religion stuff for me, and I was very offended. I'm like, this is horrible. It's like, that's not even funny. It's like, these people are horrible people. And then I realized, oh, that's the whole point. They're it's like making fun of horrible people. Anyway, that's all I watched was that, and watched a lot of trailers. But for the most part, I got home from the drive and I was dead. Zach, I believe we should talk about the movies we watched.
I think we should. I think you are up first, my friend.
I am. I'm up.
What glorious movie did you watch this week?
I don't know about if I watched a glorious movie, but I watched a movie.
Well, okay.
Called Dead Heat, and this is not the Dead Heat from 2002 with Kiefer Sutherland and other people that I've never heard of.
Yeah, no, this is a better.
This looks like a really depressing comedy. It's a crime comedy drama film. Whatever.
Yeah, you watched the better version of this movie,
right? And that was not a remake. It's just same name. Anyway, watch Dead Heat from 1988, starring Treat Williams, whose face I totally recognized but didn't know that was his name. And Joe Piscopo, the man I can't stand to ever hear anything from his mouth ever again, because I don't think he's funny and he annoys the crap out of me. And I just want to shove him and punch him in the face and tell him to quit being just a piece of crap. And the things he says, apparently he ad-libbed a bunch of his lines, and he's like the worst person.
Okay.
The last line in the movie, they're like, "Do you think we're going to be reincarnated?" And he's like, "I don't know. We could come back as anything." And Treat Williams says something about what he wants to be, like a poet or like a statesman or something. And Joe Piscopo's like, "I think I want to come back as a lady's bicycle seat." I'm like, ugh, just vomit all over the TV, right? Why don't you? I mean, sorry, Joe Piscopo, not a funny man, but he does have a pretty impressive mullet. I mean, he's got the curly short hair and a mullet. That's hard to pull off.
There you go.
But I mean, in '88, you could pull it off if you were Joe Piscopo. Can't figure out why it's called Dead Heat. I get the dead part, but not the heat part. But that's beside the point. It's a catchy, but in the Philippines, it was referred to as Iron Cops. Not sure why.
That is a very different movie.
Yeah,
Iron Cops is a very different movie from Dead Heat. Like if I went in to watch Iron Cops and it was this movie, I'd be like, "What did I buy? Did I buy the wrong ticket? Am I in the wrong theater? What's going on?" Yeah,
maybe having dead in a title is like bad luck or uncouth or something in the Philippines. I don't know. All of our thousands of listeners in the Philippines need to tell us what's going on with that.
Yes, the thousands of listeners we have in the Philippines.
Yeah. So it's basically about a guy. It's like placed in the LAPD, mostly filmed in the LA, and it's most like long and short. Like the overview is that it's about a police officer who is murdered while attempting to arrest zombies who have been reanimated by the head of Dante Laboratories in order to carry out violent armed robberies, and decides to get revenge with the help of his former partner. Now, not former partner, current partner, because they're still partners. I mean, let's not discriminate against the dead.
Okay.
Or the undead, as it were.
Fantastic.
So, movie starts out with a big gun battle between a bunch of policemen, like a bunch of policemen, and two guys who are robbing a jewelry store. And it
was a slow day, and so they need all the cops. The entire LAPD is just, yeah.
And it's hilarious because it's such a 1980s fight, like gunfight. So 1980s.
Yeah.
And like everybody jumps behind their car and has their gun on, just shoots wildly. Right? Just no regard.
I want to know the amount of rounds.
Oh, so many
that are shot in an 80s movie. There has to be trailers, like semi trailers full of blank rounds. Is the budget, are they just that cheap? Are these blank rounds just that cheap, or are they a substantial part of the budget for an 80s movie? Because you can't have an 80s movie unless you are blowing up everything with just abandon. You're just blowing everything up. And you're also, every gun is basically, even if it's not an automatic, it's basically an automatic, because the amount of rounds you're shooting is limitless. Yeah. And that's part of why that's the best era, is because it's just over the top caricature of real
everything
life.
About the police is a caricature. And everything about the robbers is a caricature. Well, in this case, the robbers are like, you find out later they are zombies because they keep getting shot. And like the first policeman to run up to the jewelry store they're robbing, he has a shotgun, right? He runs up and he goes, "Stop!" like You didn't give him time. He starts blowing him away.
Well, at least, listen, if you can't react in 0.1 second to stop, you deserve to get blown away in an 80s movie, okay? Because he at least said it.
See, so Zach, maybe this is the problem we have with some of the police brutality stuff we're dealing with in the country right now.
Now you're going to make it real?
All these freaking police officers have been watching this 80s stuff, and they're like, that's how it's supposed to be done. That we got to do that. Just like shoot wildly at anything. And sorry, I'm getting political.
So you're saying that, so what you're saying is that if you want to be a police officer, if you're going to be a police officer in training, they just show you RoboCop and go, this is the training video.
No, but the police officers have grown up.
We're going to watch the entire franchise of Lethal Weapon. Here's your training video.
Well, this is the same time frame as Lethal Weapon and, like you said, RoboCop and all that stuff.
Yeah,
80s.
that's what I'm saying.
In every 80s movie, so all the people who are policemen now, or have been a while, they're all people who watch these movies as kids, whether it's on like on Saturday morning, like on reruns or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta shoot lots of people," and that's the job.
So, are you saying that that as far as you are concerned, blue lives don't matter?
Zach,
listen. I had to go there. I'm so sorry for going there.
Blue lives matter less.
Oh no!
Because
listen, they're good people on both sides at the end of the day.
Oh, shut up!
So sorry.
When you go put on a uniform, you are saying that your life matters less, and the other people are more important than you. So yeah, they matter less.
Okay, well.
And
that's the political portion of the podcast. Yay! Now back to
is the reason that there's gun violence in America.
Oh wow!
You can't talk me out of it.
I can't talk you out of it. Okay. Well, I'm not trying to. I just tried to give you the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
I'm going to cut that out.
Okay. You're going to cut the political part out. Okay, great. I would appreciate that because I was also just kidding, but sometimes people aren't kidding.
They don't get it. Yeah. Okay, so big gunfight. They shoot the dudes and can't kill them. Finally, they do what everybody in the 80s would do: is they just throw a random grenade and blows one of the dudes up.
Come on.
And then I think they impale the other guy. I forget how they kill the other guy. Anyway, they bring him into the morgue, and the lady at the morgue is like, "Oh, I've seen these guys before. Here's the photos of them last time they came in. They're dead." And then you have like the stitches, like the autopsy stitches,
right. Yeah.
And Joe Piscopo's dumber than a rock, and he's like, "Well, are you sure they were dead?" And then the boss, like the chief or whatever, the police chief, he's like, Are you sure they're dead? Because it looks like you screwed up on this one. Like making fun of the coroner gal.
Yeah.
Who like Joe Piscopo but they're both hitting on her. I guess it's like, I don't know, there's some sort of relationship, something. Anyway, they finally figure out that these guys are being reanimated somehow. Okay. They're essentially zombies. But plot twist, the zombies can only live for like another 12 hours.
Right.
And so what the bad guys are doing is they are getting people who are dead, reanimating them, and sticking them in, like, having them like rob stores and whatnot. And then like they're already dead, so you can't like prosecute them again or whatever. And
see, it seems logical.
Right. So they chase down where this is happening, and they get to this lab place or whatever, where they find that this machine is reanimating people,
mm-hmm.
and they uncover it, and there's inexplicably a full, like a big room, like a big, like a, I don't know, like 8x8 room or something, where they kill animals. It's like, why didn't
as you do in the 80s?
And so there's a big room, and they like sucks all the oxygen out really fast and kills you.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's really weird, but okay, I get, it's a plot device. And Treat, the guy who I forget what was his name, what's his Roger. Yes, Roger. By the way, his name is Roger Mortis, like rigor mortis.
Yeah.
So he dies. He gets accidentally stuck in that room, and Doug can't get him out because Joe Piscopo's dummy, and he's like banging on the door, and it's like, maybe you have a gun in your hand. Maybe you could shoot the freaking window because your partner's dying. Anyway, so he doesn't shoot the window, and he's like, "Oh no, you're dead." And they pull him out, and the coroner gal comes, and she's like, "Oh no, he's dead." And they're like, "Well, let's put him on this random table and turn it on and see what happens." And he comes back to life, and he's like, "What happened?" And like, "You were dead." He's like, "No, I wasn't dead." I'm like, "Yeah, you're dead. Look, you're dead." And so he,
wow,
they proceed to, I guess, look for who did this, and
yeah.
I kind of blacked out at one point.
You don't say. You don't say.
And I forget how this happened, but they ended up, like, as they're trying to trace sense down, they ended up like in a Chinese restaurant. Yeah, which was not racist at all, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, Chinese food is great.
Yeah. They ended up at this Chinese restaurant, and the Chinese dude who like is like the head of the bad guys or whatever, he flips this switch, and lightning comes out of this like this pagoda lamp thing, and this scene was hilarious. I really laughed a lot on this one because it animates everything in there. Like everything that was possibly could have been alive at one point is alive. Like the chicken wings start flopping around.
Right.
Like the cooked chicken wings.
Yeah.
And all the food starts waking up, and the fish and that are in like on the ice, and there's like a cow like torso with like the legs cut off and no head, no skin. It like walks out of there, and looks like it's like trying to hump the guy or something, but it's like, how are you gonna kill it? There's no teeth. I don't know. That was pretty funny. As they're trying to kill that stuff, but along the way, they're starting to realize like Roger Mortis is starting to like kind of deteriorate a bit, and then they find out that his girlfriend, I guess, or the morgue lady, the girlfriend, she also somehow was reanimated or something. I missed that part. But she disappears. She starts disintegrating or melting away, and that, I gotta say, very, very impressive special effects in this, like makeup effects and stuff. Right. Practical effects were honestly great in this movie. Like when she was dying and melting, like it's like they're fine, and then they suddenly like accelerate decomposition or something. Mm-hmm. But like her face melting off, that was good. That was really creepy. Anyway, I forget. So at the end, they stop the bad guy. Oh, they find out that the head, the police chief is like or something. The guy who was the dad in the Christmas Story. Yeah, he plays that. He was the bad guy all along, and they throw him on the reanimation table, and he completely explodes. Yeah, which is kind of cool. I'm a fan of exploding people in movies.
Of course,
stuff. And then big reveal, the guy Loudermilk, which is a great last name, Loudermilk, who is like over all of this stuff, like the henchman in the background, like puppeting everything. Vincent Price,
dude, the revelation. Yeah, I'm watching this movie, and the revelation of Vincent Price being in this movie was amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
because he's like on the TV once in a while, but you're like, I thought maybe they were watching like old clips of his movies or something. I forget the studio had rights to those, so they'll show him or whatever. Then he like actually is alive, and he comes back, and he's they're gonna stop the guy, and he's like, I'll give you eternal life, blah blah blah, and they're like, not gonna happen. And I should have taken the time to write down some of the, I'm sorry, cover your ears, some of the dumbass jokes.
Yeah, it's bad.
That Joe Piscopo says they're going into a library, and he's like, huh, this library, never seen one of those from the inside. It's like,
that's so really bad, right?
And there's so many jokes like that. Anyway, it's so at the very end of it, when he says, I want to be a bicycle seat for a woman's bicycle seat after I come back,
right?
Roger Mortis says, this could be the end of a beautiful friendship, and that's the end of the movie. To be honest, I had fun with this thing. It was a comedy, drama, horror, zombie cop buddy movie from the 80s. Yeah. Mash all the things together. Dawn of the Dead, and Lethal Weapon, and all the stuff mashed together, and that's what this movie is. It's 86 minutes, so it's not that long, and it was. I think it was if I was watching this in the 80s, I think I would have loved it, But it's hard to judge 80s movies based on 80s sensibilities because I'm watching it in the 2024s,
right?
But yeah, I'd watch this again. I give it 3 stars
for all of the. You watch it again for all of the crap that you just threw at it.
I threw all the crap on it because it deserves the crap.
Of course,
there's a crappy stuff in this movie.
That's why I call it one of the best movies, is because it's clearly really bad.
Right.
But it's so funny. It's so comically bad.
Right. I enjoyed it because even though it's bad, it was on purpose bad. All the cheeseball stuff, all the dumb lines,
yeah,
everything was on purpose. Yeah. And it was supposed to be goofy and ridiculous. So, and I was actually very pleased that they did not make Joe Piscopo the dead guy. I could guarantee that's what it was going to be, but it wasn't. So,
okay.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean, I would not, give it an Oscar.
Of course not.
It was a fun movie from the 80s, and I can appreciate that. So, I'm not going to give it 5 stars like some people in this podcast.
It's worth 5 stars. Yeah, that's a hill to die on, man. That it's worth 5 because it's so stupid. It's so dumb.
It does a good job of actually being horror because there's some horrific stuff in it, and being comedy.
Well, it's the fact that it's completely terrible. It's not good, but it's entertaining. At every single step, it's entertaining.
It never tries to be something it's not.
Yeah. It just
I think that's
is.
why I liked it.
This is exactly what it is, and this is what you're gonna get. But the fact that it was entertaining from start to finish,
yeah,
because of how bad it was, that's the thing that for me I was like, this is a 5-star movie. This is a 5. Now, is it really worth 5 stars? Probably not. I'm gonna on my initial viewing, I was like, I have to give this movie 5 stars.
Really?
Because this is so bad. It's so stupid. Yeah. It's like it's like if Dumb and Dumber was a zombie cop thing.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, 5 stars. 5 stars. And we're gonna throw in Vincent Price? Come on. 5 stars.
I still think it would have been better if you had replaced Joe Piscopo with somebody different.
Probably.
I don't think he's funny. I don't know.
I don't know what other movies this man stars in. Like I said, the other cop, I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that guy in other things. He's a prolific and he's a good actor.
Right.
But Joe, I don't know if I've ever seen him in it. I've also not looked it up either. I guess I could just do that right now.
I'm looking at the stuff. I don't recognize anything he's really been in.
As an actor.
He's a stand-up comedian. Johnny Dangerously, I guess. I recognize that.
Yeah, I recognize Johnny Dangerously, but I don't think I've ever seen that.
Wise Guys. Bartleby.
Sidekicks. I've seen Holy cow! I've seen Sidekicks. Wow, 1992.
Captain Nuke and the Bomber Boys. Oh, that doesn't.
What the what? Captain Nuke and the what?
The Bomber Boys.
Well, that has to be something we watch, right? No, it doesn't even have a rating. Like, people have rated this, but it doesn't have
number.
It doesn't have. So it has. Let's count them. It has 2 half-star reviews, 4 1-star reviews. Excuse me. It has 5 1.5-star reviews, 6 2-star reviews, and that's the most. That's 6 votes. 3 2.5 stars, 4 3 stars, 1 3.5, 0 4, 1 4.5, and 2 5-star ratings. Yes, 2 people, 2 just amazing souls on this planet.
He's in Wise Guys. He stars in Wise Guys with Danny DeVito in 1986 by a movie by Brian De Palma.
Wise Guys.
Huh. Yeah. Look, Danny DeVito has hair.
Oh, wow.
Not that makes him a better person or anything, but
it doesn't. It doesn't make him a better person.
No, it does not.
I mean, you have hair. I do not.
You got hair. You get more hair on your face than I have. I can't do that hair on the face thing.
You can't do the hair on the face thing?
I can, but it just doesn't look good. I'm not allowed.
You're not. What do you mean you're not allowed? I don't understand.
Wife doesn't allow me to do it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't want it either.
Well, I don't. I mean, I'm not going to get involved in any of that stuff.
Yeah, play this better that way. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you gave us a hilarious review. That's good.
Well, glad you enjoyed that. Let's move on to yours. What'd you have for us? What'd you watch?
Vivacious. Watched a movie called Vivacious. I didn't watch that movie. I don't even know if that's a movie. Vivacious does not sound like the type of movie we want to talk about on this podcast. No, also, I do not know. Oh, by the way, I also started to watch Maxine. I did not finish it yet. Okay. Vivarium is the movie from 2019 that you gave me. It has a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 39% audience score with an upturned popcorn bucket, though. So, no says I for the audience. Which is, again, that's a very odd kind of thing. 2.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd, 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb. The IMDb synopsis says, a couple looking for the perfect home finds themselves trapped in a mysterious labyrinth-like neighborhood of identical homes. Okay, I think that it is a bit much to say that they are looking for the perfect home.
They're looking for a house, right?
Yeah, but if you mean they're looking, okay, they talk to no other real estate agent.
Well, that you see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They only talk to one. And why are they going? They go into a shop. Okay. Are they in England? Is that where they are? Is that where this movie is set?
I don't think it really says.
Because everybody is. I think everybody is basically English except for.
I think you're right.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Because I think the steering wheel's on the other side.
Yeah. So do they have offices over there like this? Is that a common thing? I don't have a clue. I need to.
It is, yeah. We have a few here in town, actually.
I know that we have offices, but like I wouldn't think to go in I would probably just call somebody, like drive past the house that has a sign out front and be like, oh yeah. But I don't really know. Anyway.
Yeah. They have a lot of those in Europe, and they have them, here once in a while. But yeah,
okay,
it's a weird thing.
This movie made me never want to buy a house. Okay, it's terrifying. Holy cow! Also, so many red flags. There are so many red flags in this movie. Why did they not turn the car around? Like they drove. Go ahead.
They didn't know they were in a movie. They thought they were just going to a regular place.
And
you can always leave, right?
No, apparently not. Apparently not, Steve. Apparently not. They had ample time to turn around. So he never answered any of the questions. By the way, Jesse Eisenberg, I couldn't relate more to a character in my life. His character in this movie, his character in this movie, when they were in the real estate agent office, she needed to listen. And I'm not trying to be misogynistic. That's not a misogynistic comment.
Sure.
That is me going. That's just me being like, yeah. How are you not picking up on the creepiest character I've ever seen in my life? I wrote that down. I literally wrote that down. In this podcast, we've been introduced to several quirky and unique characters. None have been quite as much, or none have been quite like Martin. Everything about Martin is perfectly casted. I just want to say that out the gate. Yeah, perfectly casted. This dude is perfect for this role. But because of that, Martin is definitely one of the weirdest characters I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
At least top 10 weirdest characters. The way that he moves his face, the way that he moves his mouth, and the way that he moves his eyebrows, everything about this character. His tall lankiness, the way that he talks. It's very clear this dude is either a serial killer or an actual extraterrestrial. and Jesse's wife picks up on none of it.
Yep.
She even says, oh, these aren't the houses we're looking for. Oh, well, do you want to go and look at them? No, we don't. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Right.
So if you just said to the real estate agent, these aren't the types of houses we're interested in, why would you be like, oh yeah, I want to be polite? Shut your mouth, get in the car, drive to the next one.
This is the problem with being too polite.
Yes, you get trapped in a labyrinth you get freaking pranked. Every time, Steve. Gosh.
Yep.
People just got to listen. They don't listen. They don't listen. They're like, oh, I want to be polite because I want to go to heaven. Shut your mouth. Shut up. I think even Jesus was like, don't drive to this compound.
Jesus would not have gone.
Jesus would definitely not have gone. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So, because the sky changes, Steve. So it's not just that every house is literally identical. They're way too close together. It's what the heck is going on? Well, it's also the comment of we want this housing development to be diverse. So we're basically picking and choosing what ethnicities we want. We want to what? So if you have too many whites, you got to turn the next white away.
Yes.
We need more of an Asian population to come in and what is this? What is that? What? Oh my gosh. That was a crazy line from Martin. It was a crazy line from Martin. We want this housing development to be ethnically diverse. So what that implies that the business model keeps a tally of how many of each ethnicity we have in the community so that we can have equal balance of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I am clearly going too deep. I'm hard in the paint with this one. I'm too deep in the psychology of this movie or the practicality of this movie. But that Martin scene was, man, it was crazy to me. Anyway.
Creepy dude.
But also, they're like, oh, well, where is it? And they're thinking, oh, it's just a couple blocks away, whatever. Like, but he's like, it's not too far. And it's like, it's basically Goldilocks. It says the weirdest thing because it's, what does he say? Something like, it's not too close and it's not too far. And you're like, what the heck? Timeout, red flag. What? Don't get in the car. Don't get in the car. Don't get in the car. Don't go with him. Or be like, or your politeness can be like, oh yeah, we'll be polite. So he's like, oh yeah, I'll get my keys. Just follow me. And he gets in his car and you get in your car, but you do a Yui and get the heck out of there. Like, that's it. He makes a left, you make a right, and bye. See ya, Martin. We're going to go somewhere else, dude. Like, yeah. Anyway. Crazy. It's freaking crazy, dude.
It is.
This movie actually starts off, though, with I think the most disturbing thing. Well, I shouldn't say the most disturbing thing. I just didn't expect Animal Planet right out the gate.
Oh, right.
with live shots of a cuckoo bird throwing birds out of a nest.
Yes. A baby murderer as a baby.
I mean, doesthedogdie.com probably is like, yeah, the bird dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And right at the beginning, the first thing you see is like a baby bird who doesn't even have his eyes open yet. Like, it's just a feed me bird. And then a cuckoo bird, like, boots that son of a gun out
the baby cuckoo bird. Like, the baby cuckoo bird can't see himself. Is it the baby one in this one? Because I've seen, like the baby. So the cuckoo bird puts its egg in somebody else's nest, and then when they all hatch, then the cuckoo bird baby, whose eyes are also shut still, instinctively pushes everything else out of the nest and kills them all. It's like, babies killing babies, man.
I've never seen this action before, so it was jarring in that regard.
Yeah, I saw it on, like, literally on Animal Planet or something.
But it also made me want to rewatch Long Legs again. Like, I immediately want to watch Long Legs. Mm-hmm. I was like, pause the movie. We're only 30 seconds into this movie before we see this crap. But also, I think that this movie, one of the producers of this movie is the same producer, the same production company that the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are.
No way.
Dude, I got to look this up. We got to pause what we're talking about right now because I have to look this information up.
It made me want to rewatch Cuckoo, the one that just came out recently.
Yeah,
because they both kind of have the same sort of concept of, like, somebody like secretly sticking their child somewhere else to be raised by something else or someone else than them.
See, I don't know anything about.
Yeah, I'm being very vague about the Cuckoo movie, but I mean, it's in the title, so.
Yeah. I don't think that I pieced that together. I feel like I should have pieced that together.
Well, they mentioned it in the movie, but.
Okay. So it's Saban or Sabin. Saban's Power Rangers.
Mm.
And I'm almost positive that the Power Rangers franchise was originally produced by Saban Entertainment in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Saban Films is the same company.
Huh.
So this movie...
They're diversified.
This movie is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Okay, well, which is that's wild. I love it. I'm here for it. At the end of the day, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are the best. So, what the heck were we talking about? Okay, so Cuckoo Birds, wild. I've literally never seen it before. I just didn't expect it to happen. Okay, but at that point, I knew exactly where we were going.
Okay.
I will also say this: this movie was perfectly paced.
Yeah, I thought
It
it was
did
pretty
not.
good.
It did not need to be slower, and it did not need to be faster. This movie was perfectly paced, and I'm saying that in light of the other 70s and 80s slasher movies that I've been watching.
Yep.
Learn a lesson here. This movie, it didn't need to go. I knew that the couple loved each other because you don't get a whole lot of couple backstory.
Right.
You can tell by his outfit that he is a construction worker or a gardener or something, right? Like you can tell, and I think they say it in passing, like he's a landscaper or he's a gardener, and you understand what that's. You don't need to watch him trim a hedge for 30 freaking minutes of the movie in order for. You don't need to watch him mow a lawn in order,
totally.
like, because you understand from his outfit and from the one piece of dialogue, and we're moving on.
Right.
We're assuming that the
100%.
audience is intelligent instead of full-blown ding-dongs who have never seen anything in their life. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox about it. I'm so upset at these movies that I've been watching, and clearly it's a trigger. But I also thought about that. Like, this movie is perfectly paced. It could not have been paced better. It was all because there was not a whole lot of exposition.
Yeah.
I was hooked from the beginning. I was
too much
interested.
Explaining is not interesting.
I didn't need it. Again, you can assume the audience is intelligent.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's what this movie did. It assumed that the audience would know what a gardener is.
Right.
It assumed that the audience would know what a emotionally healthy couple is. So it assumed that the audience would know. It assumed that the audience would know what it's like to be in a relationship. So we don't need to show them going on dates and whatnot because we know that like that's more than likely what they do. And so, yeah, I also like the callback to like that very first scene. So when they're in the end of the movie, kind of when they're reminiscing about what the breeze sounds like, what the wind sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of a callback to that very first scene where she's in the classroom and they're, hey, let's pretend to be trees and blah, blah, blah. Like, let's do that. It was kind of a callback to that. I appreciated that. I did write down a suspicion 27 minutes and 20 seconds into this movie. I paused it. This is where, so let's talk about the plot because I've been all over the place. There's a couple. Duh. They are a nice couple. Duh.
Yeah.
They walk into the creepiest real estate agent's office in the world. That could also possibly be an alien ship, maybe, or an AI thing. I don't necessarily, or maybe just a low-key government agency that is weird. I don't know. They could have walked into whoever the company is that put on the Truman Show. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's unclear. It could be anything. I think alien. Okay, I think extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Because Martin is the freaking wildest character I've ever seen in my life. Crazy. Despite Jesse Eisenberg being like, hey, there's a million red flags going on here, brother doesn't say anything. He gets trapped, okay? They go into this housing development that is too perfect. Have ample time to turn around. Do not turn around.
Did they though? Maybe they're already stuck.
I think they were already stuck. So as soon as they went in,
like the entrance of that,
it started to change and morph. Yeah. Exactly. And But you don't know that, obviously, in the beginning. So they
Right.
go to this housing development. All of the houses are literally cookie-cutter houses. They are the exact same houses. The front yard, the backyard, the mailbox, the lettering, the paint color, everything about this neighborhood is the exact same. They take a tour of the house, super creepy, get to the backyard, and Martin freaking bounces. He leaves. He's like, let me show you the backyard. And then he's gone.
Yeah. And he asks some weird questions like how many kids they have or something, or how they
He
planning
did
to have,
ask,
and
do you have any kids? And they're like,
That's
no, we don't, but we want kids. So he's interviewing them,
right.
as a good alien would. And so they have champagne and strawberries in the fridge. Do you want a little tittle? I think is what he said. And I'm like, whoa, time out. No, that's a weird word, bro. Don't use the word tittle.
Oh, you know the Brits.
Freaking don't do that. Makes me uncomfortable. But even though I just said it like 3 times, whatever. But they basically immediately get trapped. They're super concerned what the heck is going on. Well, let's just leave. They drive around, can't leave. They keep passing number 9. They keep passing the house. Jesse goes full toxic masculinity. He's like, let me drive. And she's like, what are you talking about? What am I doing that?
Right.
What are you going to do better? I'm freaking driving. I don't understand. Yeah. They drive basically until the evening.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy thing. Because it's like noon. And they drive all day. Half a day.
They're still in the neighborhood.
Yeah. And they run out of gas. And they're surprised that they ran out of gas. I'm like, well, there's a thing called a gauge right in front of you, ding-dongs. What are you talking about? But you're surprised you ran out of gas. And they're also surprised that the battery works in the car despite not having gas. And I'm like, yeah, those are 2 different things. What are you talking about? I don't understand. You not having gas.
You didn't screen them for intelligence,
I don't understand what's happening. Anyway. They sleep there. I think food arrives in a box.
Like randomly. Yeah, it's out of
random box, random food. Jesse then lights the house on fire. Like he rips off a portion of the box, lights the house on fire. He's like, oh, well, I'm just going to, somebody's got to see the smoke. Also, nobody bothers to look up at the clouds and see that they're all perfect. Nobody. I don't know. Jesse at one point climbs up to the roof to see if he can see something, and he's like, it just housing development for miles.
For as far as you can see, yeah.
And they're like, well, let's just walk towards the sun. We have to get out of here at some point. No, the labyrinth won't let them do that. And then a baby shows up in a box, which is a wild way to deliver a baby. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not taped. The box is not taped, which is good. So it'd be even crazier if it was like a taped box, but it had holes in the box. So the box says, basically raise this baby and we'll release you.
Yep.
Whew. So the next scene is the 27-minute, 27-second scene. Because the next time we see them, they've been there for 98 days. Because the kid wants to be measured. So they go to the wall, measure, and this is where you see how many days they've been there. And they've been there for 98 days at this point.
What do you mean the 27-second or whatever? 27 minutes.
Back to what I was going to say about my suspicion at 27 minutes, 27 seconds into the movie. This is our first introduction of what this kid looks like as a kid and not a baby.
Right.
Because there's a time jump. And you see him from the back. Right. Black hair, white shirt, same introduction we had of Martin. And I went, that kid's Martin.
Oh.
That kid's Martin. Now, I was thinking he would exactly be Martin, and maybe all of these aliens look the same, or all of these creatures look the same. That's inaccurate. I'm still not too far off,
Yeah.
But I did have a suspicion that they were basically raising Martin. And they technically are. They're just raising Martin's replacement.
Right.
Because these
Which I thought that
creatures,
was a good twist. I didn't think about that.
yeah, these creatures apparently age very rapidly. And the child had an oddly post-pubescent voice for being a child, for being a pre-pubescent kid. Like,
Yes.
and it was also very odd to see, like, this is how an alien would respond if the alien were trying to be human. Because, like, kids will whine and cry when they want food, right? Like, babies will do that. But this kid just screams, literally up until the moment that it's satisfied and satiated. Like,
that
so,
scream was brutal.
oh, it made me want to punch that kid in the
I wanted
face.
to crawl out of my skin. Oh,
I
boy.
hated it. So, literally, like, it screams. They are covering their ears as they pour it a bowl of cereal. If you don't pour enough milk, he keeps screaming. So he'll stop screaming right when he gets exactly what he wants. And then he stops screaming.
It's like a bird, right? Back to the cuckoo thing.
Yes. So
maybe birds will just do that until they get their food.
yeah. So, and again, if you're an alien and you're trying to act human, yeah. And it was at this point that I started to, like, is there a metaphor kind of going on for human behavior? And I got annoyed that there was. And so, knock it over the metaphors. And so, just be.
You got annoyed that there was a metaphor?
Got annoyed. Yeah. Don't stop. Okay? Don't be a metaphor for something else. Don't.
What?
Sometimes it bothers me. And
that's
sometimes
what a meta is for.
Stop. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hang up this podcast. We're done. It's over. Because you said that. You want to talk about Joe's jokes and you want to throw that one up? Get the heck out of here. Anyway. Cheeseball. Anyway. So basically they raise the kid. Jesse Eisenberg slowly goes insane. The mom slowly goes insane. And at one point is literally barking at the sky, which is crazy. And
yeah.
I think Jesse is starting. Jesse throws. He's portioning out his cigarettes, which is some self-control as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But he throws one on the grass, and like a hole appears, and dirt is underneath it because the grass kind of looks like turf, and
like astroturf.
Yeah. So because the grass never grows, but it kind of looks like turf. And so Jesse immediately is like, well, if there's dirt underneath, we've got to dig somewhere. So he just starts digging. I don't know what specifically happens to Jesse because the deeper he digs, the more he starts coughing, which makes me think that he has he's getting cancer or he's getting some sort of disease because he dies prematurely. Like he dies before he gets old. And also, they never release them.
Right.
Like, so there is this illusion that you're going to get released because the creature keeps saying, like, well, you are home.
Right.
And I also love the theme of, like, thanks, mommy. And she's like, I'm not your mom. And her last words are like, I'm not your effing mom. And I was and that was her last words. And I was like, oh, dang. That was a great line. But I got to give props to the acting as far as Jessie. And I don't know what her name is. But they really got put in bags that slightly got the air sucked out of them.
Yes.
Which made me claustrophobic because I don't like that. And also the bag was like smashing the nose of Jesse and his eyes were open or whatever. And then the kid that they're raising, who's now basically like a 27, 30-year-old man at this point. Puts Jesse in this body bag and like throws him in the hole that he's been digging. But also Jesse finds a bag. That was what was crazy. Is like Jesse is digging. He comes to a point where he finds a bag, but you don't ever see what he's really looking at. You just know that he's shocked, which made me think that he either found somebody else, more than likely he found somebody else. And like I was going to say, he either found himself or he found like a version of himself because they're in a time loop maybe. Or
I thought he did find himself. I thought that was established.
The screen was too dark no matter how bright I lit my iPad. For me, and the camera shot was too quick for me to really figure out. I know that he found a bag. I don't know what he was specifically
at the very bottom of the hole.
At the very bottom of the hole. So, yeah, so they just shrunk wrap him, dude, and threw him in the hole, which is crazy. And then she ends up dying, but not after she goes under the curb and in some sort of like weird
parallel universe
that I didn't entirely need. I didn't need that portion of the story because it was odd. It was just unnecessary for me. We were already in a fantastical universe. I didn't need you to go to even more of an extreme fantastical universe.
I think they're trying to explain why it was so weird, and that there were. I think they wanted to. Well, by showing that, it showed all like there's so many layers of this world, like whether they're like identical universes or whatever they are. But it's like there's a lot of this stuff going on, not just them, but there's like a lot of these neighborhoods.
Yeah, and I mean, because she could have been. She didn't necessarily need to be time traveling as far as like going into other dimensions. She could have just been going into other, like all of the places all throughout the world could have been connected through this. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not overly too sure. I maybe need somebody to explain that a little bit better because it's not fully explained.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily need it to be, I guess. Whatever. She ends up dying, thrown in a body bag, shrunk wrap, thrown in the hole. He buries them, and literally the grass grows back while he's walking away. And I was like, oh, dang.
Yeah. Oof.
And then he basically just puts gas in their car. Like, where the heck did you get that? And then drives off.
This is the child grown up all the way, right?
Yeah, he's basically like I said, he's a 25, 30-year-old man at this point.
Right.
But then one of the weirder parts was the fact that so he goes back to the real estate office. There is a very old Martin.
Right, yeah.
Martin hands him the nameplate, like the Martin moniker. He puts it on. Martin dies. Back up. Timeout. She dies, like, I think upstairs at some point, and he grabs her by in the body bag. And
really?
Yeah, he puts her in a body bag and carries her, or like drags her by the feet down the stairs. So her head is like smacking off at each step. And I'm like, that is a wild way to carry somebody down the steps. What are you doing?
They're not alive.
I mean, they're dead. Yeah, I get it. But also like, ow, bro. What the heck?
Yeah, ow, bro.
Like I'm thinking I fell down the steps. That sucked. I can't imagine bouncing on the back of my head. You're also dead. Whatever. There's bigger problems because you're dead. But it was still a wild visual choice to be like, I don't care about these people anymore. I think that was probably the point. Like they've served their purpose.
Totally true. Yeah.
But then
they're just meat.
The way that he folds up Martin, like the old dead Martin, from the feet. So he's laying on his back in the body bag. And he basically takes his feet. Your knees only bend one way, or are only supposed to bend one way.
Yeah, not if you push hard enough.
Not if you push hard enough, bro. Because he basically folds him in thirds and shoves him in this
the wrong
drawer.
direction.
staples a receipt to him, to the body bag, throws him in this drawer. He goes off to wherever he's going, you don't know. And then he sits down in the chair and assumes the role of Martin, and another couple walks in, and
rinse and repeat.
The show basically repeats and cut to black, and then that's it. It was a great movie. As far as our rankings are concerned, I'm going to say that this is a 4 out of 5 by the popcorn bucket. This is I thought I was hooked from the very beginning, because again, the cuckoo thing, I'd never seen it before. Was like, whoa. But then the pacing of the movie I thought was great. It assumed my intelligence. I appreciated that. It went places that I was not expecting, because again, I was expecting them to get released. I was not expecting for Jesse Eisenberg's character to get sick and die.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
I was not expecting. I was not expecting her to die.
Yeah,
and it left me with enough mystery to be frustratingly annoying, but in a way that I liked. Like, I liked the fact that they don't overly explain to you what these creatures are.
Yes,
they mystery. But because there is that mystery, and it's like an earworm, and it just gets in my head, and it annoys me that I don't know. But the mystery makes me want to go back and watch it again. To see if I miss things, to see if I can pick up on things, or it makes me want to go to YouTube and maybe watch a couple of videos on people reviewing this movie and talking about it, and director commentary. Like, it makes me want to go dive deeper, which I appreciate.
That's
so
good.
I'm gonna say 4 out of 5. So I also did not know what the word vivarium meant. So when I looked that up, I was like, "Oh yeah, wow!" Because I was like, "Where is this? What?" I didn't know what the word meant. So when I looked up the definition, I was like, "Oh, that's a perfect title," because that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
This was great, but
Good. Dude, I'm glad you liked it.
It also made me. It put a huge target in the back of some real estate agents. Let me tell you right now. I'm gonna be. When Casey and I started looking for houses, I'm going to tell you right now, I already thought that real estate agents are dang charlatans who are trying to get my money anyway and upsell me on crap. But sorry if you're a real estate agent and you're listening to this right now, you're a terrible person who's taking.
And if you're named Martin,
you're named Martin, I will never do business with you, bro.
Yeah.
I want it to be understood. I care about the name of the road that I'm going to live on. So if I'm going to live on like. If you're going to show me a house on Elm Street, low key, I'm going to want to live there. Okay. But I'm also not going to want to live there, because I know what happens on Elm Street. Okay. Yeah. If you're like, if my house address is like 6969, probably not going to look at that house. Okay.
Oh, I would totally. It's nice.
I'm not going to look at that house. No, I'm not looking at that house. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm not going to invite people over to like 6969
Peach Street.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I can't. Yeah. Eggplant Boulevard. Probably not going to live there. Yeah, and also then, if your name is Martin and you're a real estate agent, you're not getting my business, dude. You're not tricking me. You're not tricking me, man. I've seen this movie, dude. I've literally seen this movie. You're not tricking me. So, yeah. Anyway, 4 out of 5. I thought it was great.
That's fantastic.
It was great. I thought it was, like I said, it was a good movie. It was great. It was great paced. And I don't know if that's the proper way to say that. It was decently paced. It was it got me in. And the acting was pretty phenomenal. It was very interesting. I keep going back to Jesse getting sick, because he kept getting progressively worse. At one point, she's bathing him, and he's got these bruises on. He starts to get achy, and I'm like, is the hole killing him? Like, is the fact that he's digging this hole, is there something in the soil that he is breathing in? Because at one point, he like just starts sleeping in the hole, but he keeps coughing aggressively. And
I kind of wondered if like the sped up development of the baby to a man, and like, did it ever say how long it was? Like a year, maybe.
So at one point he paints over. At one point, younger Martin,
right,
30-year-old Martin,
yep,
paints over the markings on the door frame, and I don't know where they stopped. I don't know how long they were there. It's one of the mysteries that makes me want to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I wonder if they if the sped up nature of that, and has something about the place they were in, even though he and his wife didn't age. What if like internally he did, and the fact that he's a smoker, like it kind of kicked on the speeding up of his like possible cancer or something?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was wondering about that one. But
yeah,
why did she die? Do you remember? I don't remember why she died.
Why did she
like had a broken heart type of thing? Like,
so
I don't remember what happened there.
Yeah, that's a great question. I literally just watched it this morning, and I know that he died because he got sick. Right? It's not explained why he got sick. He also has bruises all over his body when she's bathing him that are very curious to me. This is one of the mysteries that I may need to go back and continue to watch and figure that out. Yeah, I don't know how long they were there. I forget specifically why she died. Yeah, I don't know. It was a great movie though. Anyway,
cool.
We should pick movies for next time.
Yeah, let's pick movies for next time. Go ahead, go first.
Here we go. I'm gonna spin it up.
Oh, I got the spinner.
Yeah. Get the spinner. Oh. Dude, you're going to watch the movie. It's on Shudder. It's called Psycho Goreman.
What the heck? Just the name of it.
This movie is amazing.
Really?
And by amazing, if you can get through Dead Heat, you're going to be able to get through Psycho Goreman. This movie is ridiculous, and I love it.
Oh, this looks great.
Yes. The poster for this movie looks fantastic.
Oh, that's so funny.
It is even wilder than the poster. Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm behind this one. Let's do it.
It's also completely stupid, and I love it. I need to rewatch Psycho Goreman because it's so bad it's good, and I love it. I'm excited for you to watch it. I'm like, man, this is great. Let's go watch it right now. I want to watch it with you because it's a great movie. Psycho Goreman.
That's great. I'm going to give you a different type of movie than a fun one. This one is also on Shudder only. It's a Shudder exclusive, I think.
Shudder exclusive?
I think it's no, that's not a Shudder exclusive, but it is streaming on Shudder. You'll Never Find Me, 2023.
You'll Never Find Me. Oh, 2023. Okay, yeah. This was on my list.
Yeah.
You'll Never Find Me. I wanted to watch this. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It says horror mystery is what it says on the Googles.
Horror thriller also.
Yeah.
Letterboxd says it's a horror thriller. But
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. It's very good.
All right. Google says, on a stormy night, Patrick, a seemingly troubled man, is visited by a mysterious woman asking for shelter in his mobile home. As the night unfolds, their anxiety and mutual mistrust grow, causing fear and paranoia to engulf the small RV. What?
It's good. I like.
You want to tell me more?
I want to tell you all about it, but it's the whole point of you watching the movie.
Yeah. I want to tell you about Psycho Goreman. I'm not going to, because it's a great movie.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, just so we're clear, there are some movies that I have watched that are not on your list, like The Scrotum. I'm going to let you watch that on your own. I'm not going to force you to watch The Scrotum like you forced me to watch The Special.
Dude.
I'm taking that news to the grave. That's exactly what happened. You know my curiosity, and you know that recommending a movie to me makes me want to watch it. So therefore, by that logic,
I also assumed that you were a grown-ass adult who can choose what you want to watch.
I am.
I didn't realize like how like unable to control yourself you are.
Yeah. It's a problem. It's a real problem. So, okay. Well, there we go. There's the movies.
Enjoy your movie. I will enjoy mine.
Yes.
And I'm going to enjoy the rest of the week.
Yes, you should.
But first I'm going to go pee.
Yeah.
And then maybe
go crazy, man.
Yeah, I will.
And then go take a nap.
Maybe. I don't know.
That sounds like a heck of a time, man.
I'm going to go see a movie tonight, but nothing looks good on, so
I'm going to go pee and then go have dinner.
Nice.
Because it's 6:16 here.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Tschüss.
All right, see ya. All right, listeners, that's a wrap for another episode of Horrors Yet Unseen. Thanks for joining us.
And we'd love for you to become part of the conversation. Just drop us a voicemail at 1-216-202-5495 or email us at horrorsyetonunseen@gmail.com. And keep up with the latest by following us on Instagram. That handle is @horrorsyetonunseenpod. We'd also appreciate it if you like and review our show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Your support means a lot to us. See you next time.